Good evening, everyone. So today's video is about, well, two things: Sly and Thetis. Now, first of all, let's get down to Sly. Sly is, well, not good. I have to say I unfortunately have him. I did my free summon, 50 crystals, the free 50 crystal summon, and I ended up drawing him. So that was quite the anticlimactic moment. You get units you don't want even though you don't want them. Quite the irony. Now, the reason why I say he's not good is not because he brings a lot of damage to the table. It is because the fact that he actually loses 2 damage potential. Now, what do I say about why I say that? Is because, well, from the first place, he actually loses to Freed and Sar, whose both damage potentials actually go beyond his, especially since his damage potential is actually pretty insane, since he actually brings 100% critical rate on his true arts, attack by 100, increases his own attack by 150, and increases his damage to humans and demons by 100 during his true arts. But that's what sucks, is because he's completely reliant on true arts. Mind you, there are a lot of units that can cover his arts, but what would be the point of trying to cover his arts when you can't even support it for that long? Now, other reasons are including that you need support type units like Thetis to bring to the table to help defend your units from receiving too much damage, or prevent units from receiving too much damage. Now, as it's been a while, so I have hardly been making videos, I'm going to show you something a little interesting. I was able to actually clear, here's Dungeon Up Trials completely. Now, why was I able to clear it is because, first of all, I have Thetis. Thetis has actually been my go-to man here, as you could see. He's helped me clear out the first floor, or 25th floor. I think the 23rd floor, let's see, hold on, I don't think, no, he wasn't involved in the 23rd. 24th? Let me think. I think he was involved in this one. Yes, he was. He was involved in the 24th. And the 22nd, maybe? Let me see. Hold on. Now, I'm really just cutting right down to the chase about Thetis, if I'm just thinking about it. But this is really about Sly, how he doesn't bring much potential to the team. Or, correction, doesn't bring much potential to your entire team in general, or your units in general. Since he does not provide much of a support, or brings anything to the table. Since he's only got 2 attack slots and 1 defense slot. Which actually pretty much is lame. Though, as I said, he has very high amounts of damage towards specific units, but that still doesn't change the fact that he is not that very great at being a DPS unit. Like I said, even though he brings a lot of damage to demons and humans, he still pretty much gets owned. Mind you, he's actually a giant. Believe it or not, he's actually considered a giant. He's not a human. As you can see, he's actually a giant. I was actually surprised about that detail when I first saw it. Giant. But beyond that point, what I also don't like about him is the fact that his arts is completely reliant on correction. The only way you can actually get his art, or his art to actually activate, is by causing an enemy to break, and you only have 1 hit in order to do that. So it's basically a single bullet shot that will cause him to activate his art, or his skill to his art, which would increase his art gauge by 100. Mind you, that's only when he's breaking an enemy, so you have a smaller chance to actually break an opponent. Like, what? So in order for him to actually get his ability active, you have to make sure the enemy is very close to being broken, then being able to get his skill to recharge his art back to 100 in order to actually deal DPS damage entirely. Whereas versus Sar and Freed, who actually give themselves art from their skills. Now I feel crunchy thinking about how long that would take to actually increase his arts constantly over and over again mid battle. But it's quite not good in my opinion. So getting down to it, I wouldn't suggest trying to summon on Sly's banner. Even if you want Dark Marzex, neither of them actually bring anything to the table. Marzex and Dark Marzex don't really fit the bill in this game. That being the fact that Dark Marzex actually reduces his own HP, or uses 15% of his own HP to deal damage to enemies, as versus regular Marzex, who increases his HP by 10% every time you activate his art, and increases his art's critical rate by 100%. And that's really about it, guys. I'll get down. Oh wait, no, it's not. Let's get down to Thetis now. Oh wait, wrong. Now, why am I bringing about? Oops, you weren't supposed to see that, guys. Why am I talking about Thetis? Wow, that was rudely interruption. Thank you. It's mainly because Thetis brings a lot more support to the table. Now, I did a little bit of math here. If you put on Sword of Revenge, which is the current relic that's being released during the event for Dark Marzex, you know that his actual defense is increased by 30% of the base. As you can see, the base right here, that's the base. Base amount is with equipment included, not passives included. I don't believe that's how it scales. So right now, if he increases by 30%, whatever value he currently has, as you can see, is increased by 30% of that. I did some math there. I get around 1,000 to 1,200 in his increase in defense, which is actually a lot more than the sword from the raid. Mind you, that sword from the raid is increasing your attack, defense, and HP by 500% or 500 each. And it also helps increase your arts. So I don't know which you guys would choose, but I'm going to be sticking with Anestra, since it brings me both attack and defense into one table. And the fact that it also gives me art gauge and also increases his critical damage by 10%. So I really have more damage output along with crit output, along with attack and defense output and HP output all in one. So it's really up to you guys if you want to go for Anestra or the sword relic from Dark Marzek's event. Now, that's all there is for today's video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting past myself. I failed to even mention his passives. The reason why I also like about him is that this unique passive, art gauge 100% up when magic drive is used. Now, mind you, even if you activate his true art or his regular art, you get an additional 1,000 shield. So absorbing all that damage, he can actually cover himself well enough to hold out. Now, what I love about Adamas gear, which is his true weapon, is this: defense 20% up when unit is negating damage. So when he's negating damage, like he receives a negation shield, you see this right here, negates own damage for a total of 10,000 damage for 15 seconds. That actually helps him out because he's actually getting an extra 20% in his defense. Now, mind you, this is not the overall stats, including with that 30% that I was mentioning before. I don't know how they run the system on this, but that's all I really can say to it, guys. I really don't have any clue how they increase his stats or decrease his stats or any of that. I don't know the base mechanics. You'll have to ask a modder or some sort to receive or find out that information. But getting down to the point, Art gauge 1 up when attacked, and magic and sorry correction when attacked, and damage 25% down during MD. Now that basically means you can actually reduce all damage by 100% with Thetis. Now that's pretty insane. So as long as his magic drive is active, he reduces all damage by 25, along with his gears, which could also reduce everything down to basically 0. Now, I don't know how they do the math calculations on that, but I believe it's just a flat out calculation. So it's like you get 100% worth of negation. You can completely reduce all damage to 0. Now, with that being said, that's all there is for today, guys. Like I said, what I love about Thetis is actually his arts as well. Sorry, it's just, oh man, I'm jumbling up here. And this is mainly due to the fact that I failed on another video I was trying to make of him. So let's get down to, well, actually, as you can see here, what I'm trying to show you right now is actually his art. 8,000% mortar damage, physical, adds own defense times 1.5 to art's damage, increases all allies break power by 3,000%. Oh, sorry, 30%. That was a facepalm. Ouch. That was a quick one. Takes all damage towards all allies instead and negates own damage for a total of 10,000. Now, wait, I actually didn't mention that. I was actually talking about that. Now, that's, especially when his magic drive is currently active, it's actually pretty insane because he actually is covering for 4 people and he's taking damage for 4 people. Now, during floor 24, I believe, you will meet a boss who actually is trying to kill your team, and his art is an AoE, which is a rapid, constantly hitting damage. Now, Thetis, when he activates his true art and has his shields up, he receives about 0 damage. So his shield doesn't take much damage, and he doesn't take much damage, making him a complete pure tank. That is why I love about Thetis, is he becomes a pure tank for unit on your entire team. Now his true art, great item, 3,000%. Sorry, this is where the 30%. Sorry, 30% came in, not 3,000. 30% water damage physical when used during Mega Drive. Heals poison and burn. Now that's pretty interesting. Heals poison and burn. Takes all damage towards all allies instead and negates own damage by 25,000 for 30 seconds. Now that's perfect for his passive here, which increases his arts by 1 point for each time he gets hit. So say you have your team being covered, so he takes 4 hits in total, so that's 4 art generation right there. Now if the enemy is a constant rapidly hitting enemy, like like I said, and it's constantly rapid hitting, so you say each time your opponent hits you for, let's see, 20 each, so you're getting around let's see, 80 art gauge right there in seconds, which is pretty insane in my book. Now that's all. Now this is where I'm going to end my video, guys. I really do hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you have fun. Thanks for watching.